Hey guys, I wanted to do a video on my 1984 Ford Ranger. There'll be a more in-depth video later on, but I wanted to do a video on how to do the Duraspark and the GM HEI distributor module upgrade. Okay, so the way you do it is you pull out all the bullshit that's over here in the computer, and then you have this. I'm going to put some links to a PDF for with a diagram on this connector and everything about it. But there'll be a 12-volt hot. So when you turn the key on, and when you turn it on, like to start the motor, and also to when the motor is running, you connect. That's going to be hot, and it's going to be supplying the module and the coil. Sorry. What is that? I don't know what the fuck that is. Fucking dumbasses. But that's what supplies the coil and the module. So what happens is you'll have the coil. Then we got some wannabe gangsters over there. So you got the hot right here, which is on the B post. This is the hot is on B, negative is on C. C goes directly to the negative on the coil. And then you got W and G. W and G go to the distributor plug. And then you got a ground, and you want to make sure everything's got a good ground. So, yeah, and that's what I have done. If you can see that in there, can't even see the damn screen. There we go. But if you can see that in there, right there, it's going to. I can do it once I do a better video on this. I'll show you how everything's wired up. But pretty much, that's it. I have yet to be able to get a tachometer running on the system, but that doesn't really matter. But yeah. But this is my engine bay. This engine originally had power steering and air conditioning, as you can see from the power steering gearbox, and some wannabe gangsters over there. And you can see all the old AC crap. The AC system was full of rust. I already got most of it out, but it's just filthy. So I had that, and it didn't work anyway. And then I have my non-feedback carburetor. So yeah. And then I got my vacuum advance, which is going to the ported vacuum on the carburetor. And then I also deleted the EGR valve. So what I did was I got I got a new gasket, and then I got one of these Dorman help shims, and then just took the original bolts and bolted it right on, and it sealed it right up. And then that's pretty much it. The only vacuum lines that are actually on this thing, that are actually vacuum lines, is the brake booster, the PCV, and vacuum advance, and that's it. Those are the only vacuum lines that are in this truck. No other vacuum lines else. Well, obviously the obvious one is the vacuum gauge, but that's really nothing in comparison to how much crap that was actually in here. Let me show you what was actually in the back of this truck. All of it is in the back of this truck. So you got some of the power steering crap. You got the power steering condenser, or not condenser, the pump or whatever that is. And then you have all the wiring. And then you have all the vacuum line crap. So this is all the wiring from the computer. The computer's buried. There's the computer. Yes, you're probably wondering, why is there a computer on a carbureted motor? I don't know. I don't care. It's gone. So, yeah. And then that's pretty much it. This has been here for months because I haven't really had time to go to the dump. But yeah, these are pretty much all the connectors that came out of the truck. This is all the vacuum bullshit that came out of the truck. If you recognize any of this, this was actually shit that was mounted to the passenger side fender. So, yeah. And then, there we go. There's the EGR valve. There's the old garbage distributor in all of its nasty glory. Here's the can of whatever, can of shame, pretty much. All distributor bullshit. There's the EGR valve. You see it's rusted real quick, and you see why I posted on Reddit of saying these things are garbage. They need to be, they should be deleted, and that is why. If you look in there, that was pretty much just plugged up like crazy. And then you got all this other bullshit, some more bullshit. So yeah. So really, all this stuff is trash. Not because it's been sitting out and getting wet. Look at that. But not because it's been sitting out getting wet, but because it's pretty much trash. None of it worked. The distributor worked, but yeah. I wouldn't recommend. If you have an '84 Ford Ranger with a 2.8 liter V6, preferably with a manual, because the automatics are kind of more finicky, because the automatic transmissions are retarded when it comes to shifting because it's vacuum actuated. I don't know how it works, but I saw someone talking about how he did it with a GM vacuum thingamajigger. I don't remember, but yeah. But if you have the manual version, you're good to go in terms of that. In terms of it will work beautifully. You will not have any issues whatsoever. So, and then I got my nice open air filter. So, yeah, engine's running really good. Not too rich, not too lean, but I am going to be fattening up the jets, and I'm putting a new power valve in here at some point. Probably whenever I get the parts, which will be Monday. So, yeah. I do want to do some more videos on this thing because I love this little truck. It's my first truck, and probably not my last, to be honest. So, yeah, I'll show you the interior. It's pretty good for '84. So, I got the tachometer, but that doesn't work yet. Turn the key on so y'all can see the gauges. So, yeah, you can see all that. I'll turn that off. Can't really see it, but it's got a single LED headlight and a normal glass headlight. So, and then you got that nice real man car. So, yeah, and a nice stiff clutch. So, yeah, and it does have that optional AC. It had that optional AC, but it doesn't work anymore. It never did. And you can see it doesn't have a speaker. It doesn't have a radio, but it still has the dash speakers. None of them work. Well, that one and the two behind me worked. Until I ripped the back ones out because they weren't fastened in any way. So yeah, but you can see there's basically no cracks. There's 1, 2, and then a nasty one right there, and then 3. You can see my little brother's '84 Ford Crown Victoria LTD. It is terrible. Where the speakers are, it's just holes. So yeah, But if you just look down there, it's pretty nice and clean. That's where the computer lived, which I still plan on removing that whole harness system, because it's still there. I just chopped all the wires because I was tired of it being there. And then you can see the old air cleaner. I do have some aftermarket gauges which I do need to replace, or do need to install. One of them is going to be, one of the gauges I'm going to install is a vacuum gauge, because I don't need a battery gauge. I need a vacuum gauge. So, yeah, I'm not going to fire her up because I have no need to. So, yeah. And then I do live in Georgia, so she has a Atlanta, Georgia on her mind. And then you can see the light. That's going to be changed to an LED because it's bright, but it heats up pretty bad. And I'd rather just have as little amount of heat and as little amount of electricity draw from this thing as possible. So, yeah. But as you can see, the flooring is garbage. The flooring will be replaced at some point. I'm gonna rip this out and clean the actual floor pans, and yeah. But she is a 7-footer. And you can see that nice Ford emblem. You can see that beautiful fucking 7-foot bed. So, yeah, I love this truck. I just need to get my keys out, and oh, something funny. I actually had to slam the hood. Because my little sister backed into it. Yeah, as you can see, that smash right in there. She actually damaged the support beam in there. And you can see where the hood is kind of pushed in opposed to everything else. So, yeah, the hood's messed up, but it still closes, still fine. As you can see, it's not perfect. But I had to modify the hood latch for it to actually work. But it did destroy that condenser, as you can tell. But it didn't work. Radiator's still good. So, yeah, I would start it up if I needed to go somewhere. But I have work tomorrow in the morning, so I might put this. Does it actually look good?